Hey everyone, this is Derek here, and today we're going to be unboxing and taking a look at a different type of L1R1 trigger. A couple weeks back, I unboxed these mechanical L1R1 sharpshooter triggers. They work by physically pressing on a smartphone screen when you press down on the trigger. The advantage to this design is you can keep your fingers on the triggers while playing, and they won't activate unless you press down. Today we're going to be taking a look at an L1R1 trigger design that works a different way. These triggers are going to use a thin conductive wire, most likely copper, to actually carry a small electrical charge from your screen to your body and back into your device. This means that, in theory, whenever you tap on the exposed copper on the tops of the triggers, it will count as a press of the screen, and as long as you continue to touch the copper, it will count as holding down on the screen. And of course, we'll have to see how this works in practice. So for those of you curious where I purchased these triggers, I'll include an Amazon link below. And I want to show you, here's the screen. They're $14.99 with Prime shipping, which I think is expensive, but they are in stock and you can get them free 2-day shipping if you have Amazon Prime, which is a pretty good deal. So they arrived in a bubble envelope and in this little white plastic baggie, just has made in China, has the model number on there. And they came in these things, which are the exact same, pretty cheap plastic, but they do a good job of protecting the L1R1 triggers when you're not using them. So we'll go ahead now, we'll pull them out, we'll take a look at what we've got. And you can see here that this is basically it. This is what you've got. So like I said before, you've got a conductive copper strip here, and then you've got a wire or a thin braid of copper perhaps that runs over to here, and then runs down here onto this conductive trigger pad. So when you push this down on your smartphone and you tap here, that should register as a press. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and install these on the iPhone 10, and we'll see how well they work. So very much like my other L1R1 triggers, these two have a small plastic strip that you actually flip down to tighten the triggers against the back of your phone. And a couple people said that this can scratch the phone. On a glass surface like this, it's pretty slippery, but it won't scratch it most likely. But if you have a phone that's metal backed or composite backed, you might want to put something under here so that on top of the back, even a piece of tape. That way it doesn't mar the finish of your phone if you're concerned about that. Just like the other triggers, they go over just like this. We'll see if we can get this one on with the screen protector like that. And then we'll go ahead, flip over to the back, and we'll clip it on. Alright, now that we got both triggers on, let's flip over here, and you can see here that we have this button selected. So on these triggers, you're not actually pushing down because it's electrical, not mechanical, how you actuate them. So we'll tap like that, and you can see how it moved over to the fire button. We'll try the ADS button here. We'll just tap there. You can see. Let's see if we're indeed getting that button. Okay, so the left button isn't working right now. The right button is. Well, sometimes you go to shoot a video and that's what happens. You get a defective trigger. So unfortunately, the left trigger is not working. It wasn't working because there's actually an issue with the copper. It looks like it was damaged, probably in production. So, yep, that happened. So what I did is I put a stand-in trigger, so this is the mechanical one on the left side, and then I have the new contact L1R1 trigger on the right side. And I want to do that because I want to show you that they do work. So you can see here how the button size changes. That's because we're jumping between the two buttons. And you can see that every tap does equal a single press. So you can see they're very accurate. We can jump back and forth right, like that, and it's working well. So what I'll do now is I'll probably play a few games with the trigger before I give you like a formal review on it, but at least from my initial impressions, it looks to be built to a similar level of quality as this one. This one has held up pretty well over the past 2 weeks, so this one has fewer moving parts, so I'd expect that it will hold up well too, but I'll definitely update you if that's not the case. So yeah, I don't think you should have any reservations about buying the contact triggers. I think that my issue is probably a limited one in just getting a defective trigger. It's something that I'll get another trigger, and then once I have two of them, I'll do some gameplay with the contact triggers and show you exactly how they function in PUBG Mobile. So hopefully this video helped you out and gave you a little bit of an idea of what to expect if you purchase a pair of L1R1 contact triggers. As soon as I receive a second good left one, I'll definitely do a gameplay video showing you more of how they function in PUBG Mobile, as well as a more in-depth comparison video between the mechanical triggers and these contact electrical ones. I'll give you the advantages and disadvantages of both designs, that way you know which one might suit your playstyle better. So thanks for watching. Definitely give this video a thumbs up so others can find it, and consider subscribing if you haven't already for more PUBG Mobile content. If you have any questions on the triggers, definitely leave those in the comments below. Otherwise, I hope to see you on the battlefield soon.